Hello and thank you for joining us again for another episode here at the Wild 7 Backlot. Today's episode is a special one. It's not really for any specific department. This one's really for anybody who plans on ever going on set. Being on set can be tiring. It's awesome. It's really cool. It's very fun. You see the most creative people doing the best job in the world, but it is tiring. Days can be really long. The environments you're shooting in may not be the most comfortable. So it's really important that you think about these things and take these into consideration. I personally, and a lot of filmmakers I know, have what they call little film go bags. And that's what today's episode is going to be about. It's going to be about what I keep in my film go bag. So my film go bag is essentially something I keep in my car for me anytime I get called for a job. I decided to make this video because last week I got called to shoot something really last minute. I only had about an hour to prepare, and that happens every once in a while. Sometimes people fall out and you're called in on a job very last second, so you have to just run to set. They'll tell you, don't bring anything, just show up. We just need a body to run this or operate that. But it is important that you do have some stuff ready for you, and that's what this episode's gonna be about today. So my go bag in and of itself is this. It's this small little Neff bag. It's just a shoulder sling bag. I got it open right now because I pulled everything out of it. But just a small bag, pack everything in here, stuff it under my seat. It's there, it's ready to go if I get called on a moment's notice. The first couple things I'm gonna go over are things you would wear. And they're kind of comfort-based things in that way, or just necessities. And the first thing I'm gonna go over, and I think is kind of the most important, and that's gloves. I got these gloves right here for free. The good people at Harbor Freight actually gave these to me on a job. I was doing some grip work on some videos that they were doing, and they gave us a bunch of free swag. So thank you, Harbor Freight. But I do like these ones a lot. They're really thick, really tough, well-made gloves. They're fantastic for if I get called to do some G&E work. I'm not gonna hurt my hands digging into milk crates looking for clamps or anything like that. Dealing with C-stands, moving those around, pulling those out of a truck. You know, you can really crush your fingers, crush your hands. It's important you wear gloves and keep your hands safe. The other thing I have, and this one's a throwback to Lieutenant Dan, if any of you guys have seen Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan always told the soldiers, keep your socks dry. Always make sure to keep your socks dry. It's important to have dry socks. So I carry an extra pair of socks in my car just in case. I rarely have to use these. We're in California. It's not really the wettest place here. But every once in a while, you do need to use them. It's not comfortable being in wet socks. It's not healthy either. You can catch pneumonia, you can catch a cold, you can get really sick. If you do have wet socks, you want to take them off and change them once you're done with the day, if you know you're not going to be in any wet environments. Where I am, just here in Southern California, you have to drive a lot. So if I'm out shooting and we're in a wet environment and I know my feet are getting wet and my shoes are getting wet, my socks are eventually wet, I'm going to change them before I drive. You know, I'm not going to drive all the way home in wet socks and be freezing in my car. So one of the next things, and this is kind of a two-parter, we all live in this post-COVID world. We all know about face masks. I keep a pack of disposable face masks in my car. You never know. You may be catching something. People on set may be catching something. You may be filming in a location that's not controlled, where they have people coming in and out, you know. Train stations, any kind of public location that you're filming, they may lock down areas, but you're gonna have people coming in and out. They may be sick. You just don't know. I always keep them around. I like to have them. But the other part of that goes to this, and it's this thing right here. And this is a neck gaiter. And it's essentially just like an elastic, nylon-y kind of material, but it goes on like this. I'm gonna mess up my hair real quick for you guys. But you wear it like that. Literally just put it over your face. The audio is probably a little muffled with me talking like this, but it kind of makes you look like a bandit. But one of the good things about this is one, I'm a little bit warmer. My lips, my nose, and my ears are covered for warmth. Two, if you're filming somewhere, like all of us here in Southern California have filmed in Lancaster and Palmdale at one point or another, and it could be windy out there. It's the high desert. You get sediment, you get dust, debris blown in your face. You don't want to get that stuff into your nose and your mouth. A little bit of a gross story. I was filming out there once and it was really windy. And when I got back to my car and I blew my nose, there was definitely some dirt in the snot. So take care of yourselves. Also, just if you don't have the neck gaiter over your face, you can wear it on your neck like this. It keeps you warmer. The back of your neck is one of those places that disperses a lot of heat. So if you're filming outside and you're stuck out there, just even having this over your neck helps a little bit. It works almost like a little scarf. All right, another comfort thing for outside that I keep in there, and this one, it's kind of a two-parter, but they're the same thing basically. But I have these hot hands, hot warmers or hand warmers and toe warmers. I keep these in there because I'm a total California boy. I was born and raised here. I think anything below 70 degrees is ungodly and inhumane. The temperatures really shouldn't go that low. They shouldn't. But they do, and we gotta stay warm, so I have these hot hands and hot toes. I don't really bust them out if I'm working like camera department or G&E. You know, you're moving around so much, it's easy to bundle up. It's rare I have to use them, to be completely honest. I tend to give them to people. Like I've been on a handful of sets where the talent, they may not be wearing a lot, they're wearing like shorts and a t-shirt, or it's supposed to be summer, but you're filming in February and it's freezing outside. And sometimes production will not consider talent, or they won't consider people. So I'll hook up talent or whoever's freezing with these and look like a hero. As for production, if you're a producer running a crew, running a set, get these for your people. You know, have some on set, put them with Crafty. Definitely take care of your people and make sure they're warm and comfortable out there. All right. Two other kind of comfort things, and that takes me kind of pivoting it over to the next side, which is you should always take care of your skin and yourself when you're out there, but skin is really important. That's why two of the things I keep is, one I mentioned earlier, blowing my nose and having dirt snot. I keep some KLEENEX in my bag, just exactly that. The other thing is dude wipes. These are awesome, they're really great, they clean you up really well. I've been on more than one shoot where they've used fake blood and I've gotten fake blood on me. That fake blood is like syrup and it's really disgusting and nasty. It gets in your hair, it's gross stuff, and you don't want to put it in your car, you don't want to like smear it anywhere else. Anytime I get it on me, I want to get it off as soon as possible. And that's one of the big reasons I keep the dude wipes in my bag, is so that if that does happen, I can wash off ASAP. Okay, so next that brings me to another skin thing, and that's this. This is my little sunscreen stick. The specific one is a Sunbum one. There's a couple brands that make these, Copper Tone, some of the other sunscreen brands, they all make their own kind of sunscreen stick. It comes in like this deodorant bar style stick for sunscreen. I suggest getting these over regular sunscreen. And the reason I suggest getting the sunscreen stick is that you can keep your hands from getting greasy. If I see someone in my camera department using the regular sunscreen, they're using that lotiony shit, I'll probably have them go wash their hands and clean off and just take care of it, you know. I'm not a huge fan of that kind of stuff, so definitely get a sunscreen stick. Keep your hands clean, keep your hands dry. This Sunbum one is actually a little bit more expensive than the Copper Tone ones as well. It's less greasy, I don't know what it is, but I personally just like it a little bit better. So another thing I keep in my set, which is kind of crucial, is this little first aid kit. I ripped off the front of it, you can see like that, but it's just your standard first aid kit. Back here, I'll see if I can get that in focus. It has a list of everything that's inside of this kit. It's got gauze, bandages, it's got antiseptic wipes, it's got paper tape, and some gloves, so if you need to do anything. We don't ever want accidents to happen on set. You should never have accidents on set. You should do everything possible to avoid accidents on set. But small things happen. People will get paper cuts, scrapes, bruises, you know, someone might fall, someone might rub into something and get a cut. When that does happen, I always like to be prepared. Another reason I like to have the Band-Aids, and I mentioned it earlier, is that sometimes you may be wearing boots or shoes that aren't the most comfortable. If they start rubbing and you're filming and it's the middle of, say, like a 12-hour day and you're getting just a rash or that rub on your ankle or your heel, that's miserable. It really is. It's horrible and it's gonna make your day feel like it's 20 hours long. You don't have to put up with it. Keep Band-Aids around. don't suffer. And the last little thing I'm gonna talk about skin-wise is gonna be this right here. All of you probably have it, you know what it is. It's lip balm. This round little one right here, funny enough, little story. I got this at Cinegear this year, a few months back. It's almost gone. I used it up quite a bit. But this one was given to us by the fine folks at the Fox Studio lot. And it's the best chapstick I've ever gotten. So if any of the Fox Studio lot people are out there are listening, thank you very much. Keep getting that good swag. We really appreciate it. For everyone else who got the cheap chapsticks, Fox Studio lot knows what's up. Go reach out to them. Use who they use. I'm just saying. So 2 other things I keep for me that are kind of comfort things. This one, because I'm getting old, it's Advil. It's a little bottle of Advil. Honestly, all the old timers, all the old G&E people, they'll think you're a hero when you bust out the Advil 8 hours into the day. The other one is kind of a weird one, but if you've ever come in this situation, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that's this right here. This is Dramamine, which is motion sickness medicine. I've been called before to operate cameras in moving vehicles, and that makes me deathly sick. I get motion sick really, really easy if I'm on a train, if I'm in an airplane or a car, and I'm operating a camera. It's looking at the screen, it's focusing, it's something like that that just makes me really, really motion sick. So that Dramamine is a must. If I don't have it, I'm gonna be throwing up and be miserable. One last little thing I do for comfort and a physical thing is I keep a couple of these in my bag as well. They're called honey stingers. I don't know, I don't care for the specific brand. There's a couple other brands that make them. It's literally this caffeinated gel, gooey kind of stuff. The reason I like these is sometimes you can't eat on set. You should always eat on set, but any of us who have been a producer or director or even an AD know, you may not be able to get a full meal down, and the days are long and you're moving a lot, like a lot, and you're burning a lot of brain power, and that uses calories. So you really have to stay fueled, and that's why I like to have these around, because I can literally just kind of put this in my pocket, you know, bam, like that. I can have a couple on standby, and it's just a gel in a little pouch, so you can rip it open, and if you're in the middle of a take, if you're working on a documentary or doing interviews or something that you have long takes, you know, 20, 30-minute takes, it's easy to kind of just sip on this during the shot or during the take and not affect the take, not cause any sound or any issues like that. So 2 of the other things I keep in my bag are I keep some pens and some Sharpies. That's really important, especially if you're an AD or a PA working in production. Always having those, really crucial. I like to keep a lighter as well. You'd be shocked how many times you have scenes with candles or things that need to be lit on fire and no one can find a lighter or something to light that with. It really slows down the day, and if you're an AD, it's a nightmare, like an absolute nightmare. So that's why I just keep a lighter in my bag. Also, I always think, like, if I get stranded in the woods, I have a lighter that I can start a fire with and not die or freeze to death overnight. So the last bit of stuff we're gonna go over are all tools. And they're all tools for filmmaking, but they're not necessarily like Cardi clamps or anything big. They're smaller tools. The first one I'm gonna talk about is surveillance. I have my own personal surveillance. I got this cheap one right here. It's not the most expensive or fanciest, but I like it a lot. I like to have my own personal one. Whenever you're on set, there's usually a PA who will walk around and hand out walkies and surveillance. They'll track who has which one, you know, keep log of that so you hand it back at the end of the production. I like my own surveillance. I don't like to use the ones they give me because I have my own little tube in my ear and it's cut and lined up for my ear, so that's really, really comfortable. I also have like the cables and everything lined up so that when I put it on, the little mouthpiece for talking is right here where I want it. Everything just lands where I want it. And that's a comfort thing, and I just prefer having my own and bringing my own. 95% of people will. There's a couple people who don't, but most people do prefer have their own, so I'd say get one, have a couple. I have this one in my go bag, and then I also have one in my tool bag that I take to set with me most of the time. So 2 of the other tools I bring in, this one right here. I always bring a multi-tool to set. This is my B multi-tool. I have a SOG that I keep in my tool bag. Anytime I'm working camera department or G&E, I always have my SOG with me. There's two really good brands, SOG and Leatherman. Gerber also makes some really good multi-tools. Those are like really the best ones. This was just some cheapy like $10 or $15 one. I think I got this at Big 5. It does the job. It's not meant to really be a full-time one. I don't think I've ever used this one on set even, actually. It looks pretty brand new. But it's my backup one to my SOG, but I want to have that. It has a knife. It has a flathead if I need to put any plates on anything or tighten anything. It's got some pliers, wire cutters, bottle opener, can opener, that sort of stuff. Just your basic standard multi-tool, but anyone who's ever been on set knows how important it is to have a multi-tool. Along with that, I have a knife, just a standard, I think it's a 3-inch straight knife, has a serrated blade. You never know if you need to cut rope or cut some gels or cut something, you know. We're in LA, it's crazy. You might have to cut some people out here. The other thing I have is this, and this is a little flashlight. In my tool bag, I have a headlamp, but I actually like this flashlight better than my headlamp, and I'll tell you why. And this is very specific to me. So this is just like you can see it's pretty bright, you know, got a good little beam on it. It's nice, lightweight. When you're filming at the end of the day, it's dark, you gotta find your tools, you gotta find your stuff. You might be filming outdoor in the desert, woods, someplace where there's not a lot of light. So people will wear those headlamps with the elastic band on them. I have a couple of those and I like them, but I tend to wear a baseball hat on set. I'm a hat guy. And when you have one of those lamps, it's kind of hard to have the hat on and the lamp, unless the lamp's like right over your eyes or you wear your hat really high. And I don't like to take my hat off at the end of the day because a lot of times when it's dark at night, it's colder and heat disperses off the top of your head. So that's why I like this little specific one right here, because it's got these clips on it. So I can actually clip it to the brim of my hat, either on the top or on the bottom. So I can like wear it like this. So when I need to operate, I could just clip this bad boy on, or I can take it off and go handheld if I want. It's the one reason I personally like this one better than headlamps most of the time. But definitely should get one or have a headlamp in your bag. All right, and the final thing is a two-parter. This one is for a lot of departments. This is for kind of everyone and just a general thing you probably need on set. But we all use iPhones, iPads, Bluetooth connected devices on set. So many things need power and USB charge. So that's why I have this battery bank. It's an Anchor one. They tend to be a little bit better than some of the other ones. The other ones are a little bit cheaper and they'll kind of, I think they lose their charge or they lose their ability to fully charge quicker than the Anchor ones. So that's why I kind of go with this one. I keep this in there. If I am an AD, I'm gonna be on my phone all day long looking at schedules. I'm gonna be looking at the call sheet. I'm gonna be calling people. It's a lot of stuff. My phone's gonna get drained. If I'm working electrical, whenever I work electrical, if I bring my Aperture and Amaran lights, I hook them up to an iPad and get them on the Bluetooth and I operate them via Bluetooth. It's not gonna last all day, so I need the battery bank. And the final thing, which is part of that, is this. It's this little multi-charger. This specific one was given us by our friends and partners over at Rheon Technologies. They're amazing. We actually rent one of their mobile power stations here at Wild 7 Studios. They're silent generators for on set. They're really, really amazing. Check out Rheon Technologies if you're in New York, here in LA. I'm pretty sure they're renting everywhere, but if you want to get a demo or check one out, definitely give us a ring, drop us a comment below. But this cool little USB-C hub docking, whatever little doohickey you call it. It has the Android charger, it has the old iPhone charger, and the USB-C new iPhone charger. There's no one I really can't hook up on set when they need power, or if I need power for anything. So that's why I have that. So that's everything I keep in my go bag. You know, it's important to be prepared if you get called on set. One of my favorite producers of all time, Robert Evans, used to always say, success is when preparation meets opportunity. Opportunities might pop up just instantly, so be prepared. Have your stuff ready to go. You know, if someone calls you and they say, can you be on set in 45 minutes, so-and-so's got sick and we need you there. If you show up and you have gloves and your multi-tool and your earpiece and you're just ready to go, they're gonna call you back and they're gonna rehire you. That's just how it goes here. We always hire the people who can get the job done. So do us a favor and subscribe. Hit that like button down below. We've got a lot of cool videos coming up. We've got some really cool tests and demos in the next few weeks coming out. I don't know if this is the new year yet. I'm filming this one in December. I don't know if this video is gonna drop in January or December yet. But if it is January now, we have a bunch of cool videos planned for this year. We're gonna do some really, really neat stuff. Really take the Backlot channel to the next level. So subscribe, hit those like buttons, really helps us out. So be prepared and we'll see you next time.